prison. Prison to me feels like this guy. He put it. He said, if you want to know what it feels like to be dead and how the world will continue without you there, how life will go on without you there, come to prison. You'll get a TV image of life continuing on without you being there. It's almost like speaking beyond the grave, because most of our conversations are over the phone with your children, with your whoever it may be. They're over the phone, so it's almost feel like they're doing a seance to contact you. And hey, Dad, how you doing? Well, I'm engaged. I'm getting married. Blah blah blah. Just bought a house. Life is continuing on, for them, and you're here, and nothing in this place changes. It's almost like you're dead, but you're not. And to me, being innocent, it's like it's hard for me to like really gather myself. And what I mean is that I'm so up and down throughout the day, and I avoid this person, and I don't want to see this administrator, and I don't want to see this officer, and it's like who I was before I came to prison, that person is long gone. You can let me out tomorrow and I wouldn't even know where to begin to try to develop any type of relationship, because it's like I'd be reborn. It's like I'd be a new man coming out. To me, that's what prison feels like. It's like you get to see what life is like. When you die, life goes on.
I don't even remember what it feels like being out there free. I can't even remember.
Yeah, me neither. Sean here. Yeah, a little on what he just said. Last week I found out that my niece just had a baby. And me and my sister's estranged right now. It was issued anyway, but just found out through a Facebook post that she had a baby.
Congrats.
The last time I saw her, she was a baby herself. She was a bottle drinking, diaper wearing little baby girl. And now she's 23 and has a child. So life does go on while we eat the same food, we sleep in the same bed, we wear the same clothes. Nothing changes in here. So we are in a state of suspended animation while life goes on.
That's a good question.
And they live their lives. They have joy, they have pain, and we're just in a constant oppressive state.
Okay. Let me ask this question. This will be the last question for this session that I asked, right? The other day was an incident. I don't know all the details, but an officer was assaulted by an inmate, a mental health inmate. And I remember when I was walking around the compound going to and from work, I would hear people, talking about, some people would say, yeah, that's what they deserve. And then I'll hear some people say, man, that's messed up, and all this and that. And then you could see I could see on the officers' faces, male and female, like, to me, it looked like fear. At the minimum, it was concern. It was like, dang, this could really happen. You know what I mean? Would any of you mind sharing, if you heard about it, when you did hear about it, what were you thinking? And how did that make you feel that something like that happened in here? Go ahead, KP.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah, it's the dangers of the job. You're dealing with people that are either full of anger, don't give a crap, excuse my language, and people dealing with mental illness.
So let me be clear before you go further.
Yeah.
So which people are you talking about that are angry and full of this? Are you talking about the inmates or the staff? Which one?
All of the above?
Okay, go ahead.
Because we see it everywhere.
Yeah,
we're all human, right?
Yeah.
But, when that happens, this particular facility mostly happens in 7. That's where they mostly mental
Tell people
illness.
what that is.
But it's not.
Tell people what 7 is.
Yeah, 7 is a high security annex. That's where the hole is. Disciplinary. If you do disciplinary and you get disciplinary, you go do the whole time there. But mainly, it's a high security annex for those who are dealing with mental illness that could not otherwise make it in the population. So they need to be either confined 24/7, or periodic release, it's a couple hours a day.
Okay.
But yeah, it's sometimes you wonder what they think, what the officer's gonna think about us when we're walking around, right? Now you see, like you said, you see fear in some of their eyes. Am I next?
Right.
And I look at it like, I think of one officer who has, I've even thought this, Yahweh forgive me, but maybe somebody needs to smack you around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a heck of a way to feel, man.
Yeah.
I don't like to have to feel that way, but it is the danger of the job. And when you put yourself out there and you abuse an inmate, it could very well come back at you.
Do you think, before I get to the next person, I'm gonna get straight to, but do you think that that anger, that suspended animation that you talked about, that all the things that you deal with on a daily basis and all over the years, do you think that feeds into why you would even say, maybe that person needs to be smacked around? Do you think that has some kind of contributing factor to that?
I would think so. 'Cause if you let it get to you, it can build up resentment.
Yeah,
It can build up your own anger,
yeah,
towards to me, it's like they're oppressors. They're not always oppressed, but
Yeah.
they're here to keep me here.
right,
They're oppressing what I desire to do.
right, be free,
Yeah, exactly.
right,
And so they are my jailers.
right, okay.
Hey, KP here again. I have a mental health incarceration manual book, and within that book it states that each officer who's dealing with mental health individuals have to be trained to
Okay.
do that. Here at this facility, which is a mental health / medical facility, they do not train their staff to deal with the mental health guys. I worked in 7A, 7B, 7 Delta, 6A, and 6 Bravo, which is all mental health units. And each time an officer come off OJT, on the job training, they put them right in there. They do not train them to deal with mental health guys. They just stick them in there. And those COs, they get right in there and treat them guys like they just regular inmates. You are dealing with mental health guys who's on all type of meds that keeps them so suppressed, so angry, so down a lot. And so when they nitpick at these guys, they explode. There's many times I had to talk a couple of my guys down from exploding on COs. Hey, it's not worth it. Hey, let me holler at you for a minute. And talk them down. That's my job. When I first started down here 3 years ago, in 6, Dr. Ribada told me, hey, you're here to talk them down. Just like we go to the gym on SLU, that's what we're supposed to be there for, to keep a bird's eye open for them guys who's about ready to explode. Talk them down because we trained in that. Well, I'm basically trained. You supposed to be trained in that too, but I'm basically trained to have a bird's eye view to see a guy, especially ones who've been taking his meds and throwing it in the trash.
So what do you do when you see that? Do you go to the staff and tell them?
I tell the therapist or the psychologist, whoever is on the floor with me at the time. Yeah, I don't tell the staff members. Staff members don't know how to handle that.
But if you tell the therapist, they're going to go straight to the damn CERT team.
That's what they're supposed to. That's their job. As long as I do my job, to tell them, then they do their job. And but that's the big issue there. They're not trained in it.
Before we get to you, Phil, but let me say this: are you saying, do you believe that they're not trained, or at all, or do you believe that the training that they have is inadequate? Because
They're not trained at all.
They're not trained at all.
They're not
so
trained
you're
at
trying
all.
to tell me you know that when they go through their training that they don't even approach or address the issue of mentally ill inmates.
When they throw them into the unit, they might tell them what type of unit it is, but they don't tell them how to handle the guys.
Okay.
They don't tell them that. And as far as me feeling what happened to the CO, I mean, hey, sometimes people put themselves in situations. Sometimes
Yeah.
people put themselves in situations. Say, is it wrong or is it right? I can't say. I wasn't there.
Right.
I wasn't there.
Do you have any empathy for the situation in the office?
I mean, I'm a human being. Of course, I have sympathy and empathy too, compassion for it too. But hey, what I heard is that, hey, she provoked him. I know the guy, she provoked him, and
Real quick before I get to Phil, I'm gonna ask y'all something real quick. So if you were in that situation and you were near that, would you have helped her?
no, it's not my job.
I would have done my best to try to intervene with the inmate before it even got that far.
Exactly.
I would have sat the inmates at the corner and talked to them to find out what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, pull him to the side, talk to him, try to talk him down.
Yeah, I would have. I
I
can't.
would, I would have told that officer to run, flat out run. Don't even try to. Nope, you know why you're here. You're here to get paid. Stick to your objective. Don't go outside these lines. Because if you try to be something you're not, they ain't playing. They only see one way, and that's red. That's why I would have told to run, because I can't help you.
Okay, go ahead. You had something else you want.
But yeah, I mean, again, along with that, when I heard about it, because I'm here and I get to see these officers, and I have a different relationship with a lot of these officers. You know, I speak to them because I see beyond the uniform. What's your objective here? What are you here for? You know, are you here to make this place a better place? Are you here to be a better human? You know, what are you really here? So if you're here to antagonize these guys or get some revenge on them or whatever it may be, and it's in a negative manner, you are going to get the energy you put out. Maybe that day, that's what she was there for. From what I heard, understand she has a very, disrespectful tone about herself. And
Could you explain that?
Well-
What do you mean when you say an officer has a disrespectful tone? I let them know that.
Well, you asked the officer, hey, did they make call out? And the officer, in a very condescending manner, would be, I don't know. Didn't you hear? I don't know what I yelled at, and it's like, wait a minute. I just asked you, did they make call out because I was in my cell room? Well, next time you need to be out here. And it's like, now that this officer has set the stage for that disrespect for that one person, that guy could have actually just watched her be that way to an inmate that wasn't even, had nothing to do with it. And the moment that he went to her, or he could have intentionally went to her after he saw that interaction and just said, did they make call out? And because
It set the scene.
here we is, this is what you want, I'm gonna give you what you want. Because again, the inmate has nothing to lose. He's in here. She gotta go home, or he gotta go home. How you want to get home? You want to be missing a tooth? You want stitches in the lip? You want your arm to not work the way it worked when it come in? It all depends. What's your objective? And I try to explain it to these. I got a wife, my wife, not to go. I have a wife. She's incarcerated at the women's facility. And this is the saying that they say to these young officers that come in. We let you go home. How you want to go home? Do you want to go home the way you came in? Or do you want to go home the way we feel? It's all up to you. That's the saying, and they mean every bit of it. So again, what's your objective here as an officer? What are you really here for? Are you here to just get paid? Sit back, chill, get your money, get paid. You don't, or if you're here to get, you get your kicks or whatever. I go home, honey, I did this to this guy. Trust me, they plan it. They flat out plan it. You gonna get what you came here for. And now you're going for 90 days and your eye ain't gonna work properly, your jaw is funny looking, all because you decided, I'm gonna get him. This is how I'm gonna talk to him today. It's real. It's real. That's why I said prison is a facade, it's fake.
This is Corey. That's pretty good. It's whenever the job starts to become I've noticed that when these officers first come, they're about the paycheck. But when it's the Nazis with badges, this is personal for me, is when they get that smart mouth and they think, they're entitled to just, all the respect we get. But it's been my opinion that every time an officer gets their butt whooped, there's backlash to us, people that wasn't even there, that they'll come around, they'll start terrorizing.
Why do you think they do that?
Oh, they think they're losing control of the prison. That's exactly what's happening. When you put your hands on our staff, this is what happens. These are we got to show you we're still in control. We are still, and I was telling someone the other day, this prison is there's not as many robbings and killings and all that. It's because of the inmates. The inmates don't want that. Now, don't say that there ain't people doing stupid stuff, because there's always going to be people that want to burn down the world. What I'm saying is this place, it's more laid back. It's because the inmates choose to be that way. And then some of the higher staff members say, well, it's laid back because of the policies that I input. It's all calm because of me. They ain't got nothing to do with it. It's us. You know what I mean? It's always us. We choose to be good. We choose to do, it's our choice. Now, we can be straight donkey and, attack a staff, which that never works out well for anybody, because the only thing that's going to happen is the same thing that always happens. They're going to take staff out, they're going to take you over the max, and they're going to beat you for 5 years. All 3 shifts. They ain't going to get tired. There's and it's a trickle down. They're going to be strict on us for a while. They're going to come in, start tearing up your cells, just to show everybody that we're still in control of this place. You put your hands on our staff, and we will show you what happened. These are the repercussions. These are the consequences.
Okay.
I don't think that no officer wants to be the sacrificial lamb. Nobody wants to come to work and be like, and okay, today I'm gonna get my jaw broken. That's not what she came in thinking. She got outside of the lines, the policy that they must follow, the training that she got outside of that, because I'm with these guys that are in 6 and 7, the mental health. I work here in the recreation facility. I see them every single day except on the weekend. I talk to them, I play cards with them, work out with them. We're around heavy equipment, and they're just as normal as long as you're respectful as you would be to anybody else. Just like any other man would, you want to be disrespectful? I'm a plot. And then if that man has nothing to lose, now you become a target. So I just feel like if you know your objective when you're here as an officer. If you're here just to get your money, leave us alone. But if you're here thinking that you're going to antagonize us, you're going to go home not the way you came here. And they can care less about going to max and being beat for 5 years, because you won't be the same. Now you're traumatized as a person. You're traumatized. Now and then the next officer comes in, did you hear about her? Well, I'm not going to do this with these guys. Now he's traumatized. The boo game goes into effect now. The whole theory of everybody is like this. And no, that was just that one person. But it can be that way. We've let you know that it can get that way with these guys. So be careful on how you treat everybody. Stick to your objective. Don't go outside of it. If you're here for your money, get your money. If you're here to make a difference, make a difference. That's just my take on it.
Well, Sean.
And that's the spiritual truth. That's the spiritual truth that's written. Don't deceive yourself. Yahweh will not be mocked. What you sow, you will reap. So if you give negative and you go outside your bounds, it's going to come back to you. There ain't no way around it.
Yeah.
It's going to come back. It's a spiritual principle, the truth. And if you do good, the guys are going to respond. They're going to respond to that.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else got anything else they want to add before we go?
This KP here. I just want to say, a lot of them come in with bad attitudes. You have a bad day, they come out here with the next morning they come with that messed up mentality where they had a bad night, or their husband or their wife pissed them off that morning, so they come in here and try to take it out on somebody who's having a bad day themselves. And two bad day people collide, somebody's bound to get hurt. Somebody's bound to get hurt very bad. Just like when the captain came the other night, hollered at the guys up on the rail. Ain't no stand up on that rail. Y'all need to get down and go in your room. Had a nasty attitude.
Cold chills. You just gave me cold chills.
Yeah, and then 3 minutes later, lockdown, Mercy lockdown. Because he was having a bad day. He came here and took it out on the whole compound because he was having a bad day. He yelled at these is grown men. You don't have to yell at them. Say, can y'all quit standing on that rail? Come down and go in your room. In a respectful voice. You didn't have to yell at them. Stuff like that will get people hurt. Really get them hurt really bad. I went to prison at 17 years old in Joliet in Chicago, and back then that kept me where I probably got stuck on. You raise your voice at another man, if you disrespect another man, you get yourself hurt. It's that simple. And things that got more lighter over the years. They yell, they holler at you like you're some kid, some wussy, and that's it. And we have to suck it up. Some people suck it up, some people can't suck it up. But overall, you know, they come in with their bad attitudes, and some of them leave with some crooked jaws. Yeah.
Before we end, Joe,
Yes.
where are we at on the donuts for the next one?
Well, I think I told you at the beginning of this, it's not gonna happen. You know, we can't afford no donuts, man.
Man, what kind of budget are we working here with?
We
I'm
don't
just
have
saying.
one. We on a shoestring without a shoe. So
Man, some stuff.
but I wanna thank all of y'all for doing this. We'll be getting together again soon. Something I want to start. I got this from the class I used to go to at Western Kentucky. Every class, at the end of the class, you know, we go around and we check out. Like at the beginning of the class, we check in. At the end of the class, we check out. And in class, we used to check out. You just say one word that describes, you know, what you got out of the session, and that's it. Just one word, and then we'll just go from left to right and doing that, and then I'll end this episode. So go ahead, KP. One word.
Understanding.
Understanding.
Donuts.
Why?
Oh,
Intriguing. Look here, y'all. It's been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. This was the first session of the Doing Time with Joe support group. I hope that you get something out of this and tune in, because we have more to come. And I hope to hear from you in the comment section. You got anything you want to say to any one of the guys directly, hit me up in the comment section. I'll make sure to get that to them. If you have anything that you want us to talk about, any topic you want us to discuss, please feel free to let us know, and we'll get right on top of that. And it's been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all. Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show. Today is the first. This concludes this session of the support group. Tune in tomorrow for the next one, right? I really appreciate all the comments that I've been getting. I hope that you find this interesting. I'm going to continue to do this, right? Let me know what you think about it. Peace.
I'm getting so tired.